Wednesday evening, and welcome into the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I am Randy Rosetta. I'm back. Missed a couple of shows so I could head up to the cold weather of Kansas to help take care of my mom. My elderly mother went through some medical stuff and needed some help, so I tried to be a good son.
Right, as you should.
Earned some stripes somewhere along the line. Went up there and missed a couple of shows, missed a couple of games. I think I was gone for number 500, but I did watch number 501 on TV in my parents' living room on my computer against Odessa Permian.
Yeah.
I'm with Paul Page. We're in the Tiger Fan Zone to start things tonight on a Wednesday night. Paul Page, longtime friendship boys basketball coach. I just asked you when you sit down, we're at 502 now after last night.
Right. So, last Tuesday night was 500, so.
I'll say the same thing to you I said to Tony Wagner. I bet you'd like that total to be at about 510, 511 here before the season's over.
That would be nice. Yeah, that's the goal.
That would be a pretty nice number to finish your season with. 501 was pretty important. That was at Permian. I watched it. You guys had to scratch and grind in that one, which is no surprise to you after being down there a lot of times. But I thought that was that's a win that you can kind of stash away as you get ready to get to the playoffs.
Right. In any time you kind of, that was the last game of the first half of district for us, and so both teams are setting it 4-0 and been playing pretty well, and so you knew going there on Friday night was going to be and more than just being both teams being undefeated in district, but there's a lot of history there of good on good, and so we knew we were going to get their best Friday night, and one of those circled on the calendar games for them, and so we've been preparing for that, trying to get our guys mentally ready for that, and so it was good to see our guys come out and really take the fight to them early in the first quarter.
And this is a good Permian team.
It is really good. They've got good guard play. As good a guard play as we've probably seen all year, 1 through 4, and then their 5, their big kid is Rael Moses, who was also co-MVP of the district last year with Chase, and so he's back and he's good. He's just really he's just a dynamic player as far as playing that 5 position, but can step out and can handle, dribble, and then gets every offensive rebound for him.
And you guys got the usual suspects stepped up for you in that game, and as they have in most games. But looking at the box score when I was putting together the City Player of the Week stuff, Maverick Allen, if you look at the scoring column first with Maverick,
right,
it doesn't turn your head much. You start looking at all those other categories, and Maverick's impacting the game in a lot of different ways.
He really has, and since since the start of district, he started to really come on and just getting more and more comfortable and in our lineup, and we're getting more comfortable with him in our lineup, and he's really just done some great things. Like I said, I call it's the unseen scene. It's the stuff you know what's going on. It's just it just changes the game so much, makes an impact. And a lot of that's just because of his motor. I mean, he just plays so hard, and that anytime you get offensive rebounds, it's not because you're in the right place. It's because you go get to the right place, and he does that. And so he's been, he's been one of our glue guys here as of late, and really helped us defensively.
Every coach would love to have a team full of Patton Pink and a team full of Chase Campbells, but if you're going to be a really good team, you got to have a Maverick Allen, you got to have a Hayden Wilson, and Daniel Getting. You've got to have those guys who understand. I may not get the headlines. I may not have to talk to this weird guy from the website all the time after the games, but those are the guys that make good teams great.
Oh, 100%. And there is not a good team. You got 2 teams playing in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks, and I guarantee you there's guys on that team that don't get the limelight, but have our blue-collar guys that just get it done each and every, and not just each and every game day, but each and every day that pushes everybody else to reach a new level.
Let me tell you about Samaje P. Ryan, the guy who sealed the win the other day. Got my 85-year-old dad's blood pressure going a little bit. That's one of those guys. Midland High, this is not a typical Midland High team. You guys have handled them pretty well each time, but the thing is, you took care of business. You came home after the emotions of Friday pretty much had that one nailed down pretty quickly. Your guys made sure that there was no letdown.
Right, and we call those take care of business games, and we're going to have some of those. You want to have some of those, like where your guys have to respond, especially when you've already played a team and beat them fairly well. That how are you going to respond to that? Are you going to go through the motions, or are you going to get better from that game? And so that's the challenge that we had last night. And Midland High's, they're up and coming, so we knew we'd get their best because they're not just a senior-led team. They're a younger team that really has no fear and has not played it out. They're not just playing it out. They're trying to get better for down the road. So we knew we'd get their best, and we did last night, and it was fun. It was fun for those guys to play hard, and we played back hard, and so it was a good Tuesday night home game for us to get the win.
In case there were any hangover, any bugs to work out, you needed to, because Friday night another test. The team that's arguably given you your best test in district so far, San Angelo Central, you go on the road.
Oh yeah. To
face them. So there you go. There's another
right
chance to grow and get better.
Right. No, it's definitely when you make the 3-hour bus ride to San Angelo, it changes things. And so luckily we've been on the bus a lot this year. We've played a lot of games in the Metroplex, and so we're kind of used to that part of it. But now obviously this one is a different level of meaning, because it's the next one on our schedule, in the district schedule, and they're really good. They've got a good mixture of good guard play, and then probably one of the best players in the district and on their team. He's a 6'5" guard that can handle it and shoot it, and so it's definitely one of those games where they need it. They really need it, and they've got a great atmosphere there at San Angelo Central, and so we're excited to go there Friday night and hopefully get the next one.
And unlike Midland High, they are not young. They've been tested. They've got guys who've been tested in various sports. So we'll come back and talk more about San Angelo Central, and then the final 3 games for Friendship as they head into the stretch run as the team to beat in their district as usual. This is Randy Rosetta. This is the Tiger Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the latest news from Friendship Athletics. This is the Tiger Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back to the second segment of the Tiger Fan Zone on a Wednesday night. Is this the last Wednesday of January?
It is.
Being gone for a week, February's going to be here quick. That's
Saturday.
That's high school basketball.
I call it February Fever.
Exactly.
I marked that down. I named it February Fever. Like, you can't have madness before you have fever, man.
Well, and I'm not going to jinx you, or Tony Wagner, or Jill Schneider, but when we were driving home, my wife, we were mapping out plans for what.
Easy now, whoa, easy.
We need to go back.
Easy.
I always have to map out when the TAP state tournament is, because the teams around here generally get there.
Yeah.
And she said, "Well, what about the UIL state tournament?" I said, "Well,
March 5th through 8th.
I'm going to have to check for the boys and the girls, because Monterey has a good chance, Estacado's got a good chance, and I feel like Friendship's got a good chance." So I was starting to look at that calendar.
Easy now. Ooh.
Did you take any Seminole teams there when you were at Seminole?
No, we in fact, that was my and Tony's first meeting, the regional finals, and about 2009, and
okay.
So they beat us in the regional finals, and so we after that we were really good after that, but so were they, and we kept meeting them in the regional quarterfinals, and we never made it. We made regional finals as far as we made it, but still looking for that one.
Have you taken any? Have you been there?
I've been in as assistant.
Okay.
I was assistant at Olney in 2001, and
okay.
we went to state. Well, I was back when it was at Austin. So
your name was actually invoked earlier today during a podcast with Parker Hicks, because Liberty and Estacado play again Friday, and we were talking about a young coach getting ready to take on one of the
big dogs.
One of the 3 coaches in town that have crossed the 500 plateau this season. And he said, yeah, you get excited about when you're getting ready to, because you know who Estacado's one district lost the last 4 years. Parker Hicks was the coach. He was at Levelland.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And I told him, I said, you're a young coach and you get excited, but there's a coach over at Friendship that still gets excited about coaching against Tony, and I bet you he can remember the times he beat him when he was at Seminole.
Right. Well, I'm not sure we ever did, but we did. Actually, we did. My next to last year, we got in the same district, and we ended up playing each other in the first game of district, and we finally got him.
And I'll say the same thing I did. It's the kids. The kids decided. It's the Jimmies and the Joes, but coaches. When you go into games against coaches like that, you start thinking, what am I have to do to adjust to his adjustments and be ready for what he's going to do?
Absolutely, it's good stuff. Yeah,
because I've watched you two coach against each other to know that it's fun for you. It's stressful, but it's fun.
Oh, it's hard. It's so hard, but no, it's good. Yeah,
and this man has made things hard on coaches in District 268 for the last several years, and right now they are sitting 6-0 with 4 games to go. Key one we talked about, San Angelo Central, key game coming up Friday on the road at San Angelo. San Angelo lost to you and to Permian. Right. But other than that, they're 23-7. They're, again, just like Permian, this is a good Permian team. This is a good San Angelo team.
Right, and we're going to get their best. They played really well last night, and going to go home, break that film down. But played really well last night, and so yeah, they've lost to us in Permian, but they're still right in the mix. Anything can happen now with 4 games left, so we're definitely need to be ready for Friday night.
Your first game against them is one of the best games I've seen this season. Do you like the fact that you guys had to grind through that? That was a game where you played well. You had to play well. It wasn't just, we can go out here and roll the ball. You had to do some things. You had to execute. You had to do things you do well and take some stuff away from them. Do you like that it was such a close game before?
Well, yeah. We need that going forward. So you want, like we have some of the take care of business games in district, but then you want those games that you train for, you practice for, and make you better for down the road, and so they definitely are going to do that to us. They did that to us the first time, and do that to us again Friday night.
We'll have you on again soon. Probably will be either right before the playoffs or as the playoffs get going. And I keep asking the same question: do you like where you guys are at now? At this point of the season,
I do. I felt like defensively we're really starting to turn the corner. And it's hard to say because defense is kind of what we've hung our hat on, and you've seen us play and how hard we play. But with that comes next level defense, and which is what you need. We realize we need as we saw a lot of Metroplex teams this season, and so we're beginning to turn that corner and really. I want to say buy in because our guys have been bought in because they play 94 feet, but. Really, the mental side of that is starting to get there too, and so a lot of that's Maverick Allen's playing a big role in that. But our other guys too have stepped it up, and we've kind of readjusted our depth since the loss of Holden Phillips, and so we're starting to figure that rotation out, and so yeah, I like where we're at. And the sickness has kind of hit us, so we kind of got to fight through that, and. But that's probably everybody's dealing with that right now. And so, but yeah, I like where we're at, and going forward, it'll be a tough task on the road Friday night.
Well, like I said, we'll have Paul back, and we'll talk some more Friendship basketball. We'll go into this break. We'll come back afterwards and jump into the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.